Update 2.7 is out right now, so don't forget to update your game in your respective app stores. This update isn't too crazy, so this video shouldn't be too long. However, I am planning on doing my banner breakdown for the second summer banner. Hopefully that should be out later today, and I'm definitely going to try to make sure it's out before the actual banner is out tonight. So keep your eyes open for that video if you want a full-on breakdown of all the new units, along with their stats and any new skills they may have. Anyways, let's get through this update. So the big new feature of Update 2.7 is Tactic Drills. The developers labeled this new mode as a way to learn the rules of Fire Emblem heroes as you play. You will be given situations with a fixed set of heroes, and you must complete the map within a certain number of phases. The game also provides helpful tips for how to tackle each situation. Remember that player phase and enemy phases are separate phases, so if a map requires you to beat it in 3 phases, you have your first player phase, the first enemy phase, and then your second player phase. There were 3 difficulties to Tactic Drills. Basics just teach basic rules of the game. For example, learn what a follow-up attack is, or learn how to use dancers. These are really for completely new players, however they do have some rewards tied to them, so go do them anyway. The second difficulty is Skill Studies, which teach what certain skills do. I guess I can retire from making guides. Just kidding, these maps teach about things like blade tomes and breaker skills. Now the last difficulty is called Grand Master and are meant for players who know what they are doing. I didn't think these would come with any tips, but they are definitely tougher looking. I'm expecting you guys to be able to do these maps, so don't let me down. Now Tactic Drills is another weekly updated mode, and new skill studies and Grandmaster maps will be available every Wednesday night, or rather Thursday daily reset. Now there isn't any insane rewards for these maps just yet, but I would like to suggest that everyone complete these maps on their own, or at least try it your first time. The whole point of this mode is to get better at strategizing. I know people will be uploading all the solutions pretty much immediately, and since everyone starts with the same units and same conditions, once someone figures it out, then everyone will be able to complete the map. Take these maps sort of like a Grand Hero Battle challenge, and I think you'll enjoy them more rather than just copying what someone else does. Overall, I think these are a nice addition to the game. The next added feature is that the quest progression screen now includes all active quests on one screen. No more crazy tapping when a new month starts and you have all those new monthly quests to complete. This seems like a nice quality of life update, and I don't see any drawbacks to it. There are a few other improvements also added to the game. The map selection screen now will automatically scroll to newly added maps, so like when a new Tactic Drills maps gets added. There is a new battle music setting. Basically, like enemy phase music, the music for battles with animations gets kind of repetitive, so turning this off will let the map's background music play without stopping. You can also set it to special music only, and I have to assume this is for battles in Grand Hero Battle maps or special maps. Probably it's boss themes. This is another nice option to have. In the miscellaneous menu, there is a new tab called Event Recap. This just allows you to reread old dialogue from old events. Currently it just seems to have old Tempest Trials dialogue. I suppose this is better than having to search the wiki for each individual set of dialogue. Last, a restart option has been added to maps like Grand Hero Battles or Tactic Drills. This just lets you restart a map without having to go back out to the main menu. Just another quality of life feature for when you're having a hard time clearing a certain map. Now moving on to the new weapons and upgrades, let's start with Eldigan. He is getting access to Dark Mistletoe as an evolution, which means it only costs 150 Divine Dew. Dark Mistletoe is pretty cool, granting extra special cooldown after a battle if the user procs their special during combat. Do keep in mind that Dark Mistletoe does not have a special refine just yet, but regular Mistletoe has its Fairy 3 upgrade. Also, Ares, the original holder of Dark Mistletoe, is a 4 to 5 star summon, so maybe you want to try him out with the weapon if you don't have a lot of Divine Dew. For Katarina, she gets Risa's Tome. Simply put, Risa's Tome is an owl tome with 4 extra might. If you get the special refined upgrade, then Risa's Tome gets speed and res ploy too. So Katarina can become similar to Arvis, and she can run all 4 ploy type skills if you give her attack and defense ploy. Katarina will be getting extra stats from the owl tome effect, and she can debuff the enemy through ploys. It's an interesting bit of synergy, and I think it's an alright weapon and refinement. Katarina is an extremely rare unit, but now if you do have her, then she does have something special to offer. Titania got the Draconic Poleaxe, and for how cool the name sounds, its effect is going to be pretty disappointing to most people's expectations. To save time, just know that the effect is the same as a gem weapon or Triangle Adept 3. Basically, Draconic Poleaxe is an Emerald Axe with plus 4 extra might. While Titania definitely wants the extra attack, most people probably wanted something other than her Emerald Axe. It locks her into being a blue unit counter, which is nice, but obviously that means she gets destroyed by any red units. Despite this, I think the refined upgrade is pretty nice. Draconic Poleaxe gets Res Tactic 3, and that means Titania is the only unit currently who can run a triple tactic buff setup. I personally love running double tactics on my Lava Shell or Legendary Ike, so triple tactic buffs does interest me. In terms of team building, Titania kind of cements herself as a anti-blue unit, and I suppose that can be good and bad depending on what other units you want on this mixed team. While most people are probably not happy with Draconic Poleaxe, if you already use Titania with her Emerald Axe, then it is a straight upgrade. I think the best way to run Titania with her anti-blue axe playstyle is to get distant counter, but obviously that is a lot of investment. Titania will continue to be a great counter to blue units, but she still does need a bit of work to get to her strongest form. Last, we have Nephany with her Dauntless Lance. As with the last two weapons, Dauntless Lance keeps Nephany's original Slaying Lance effect, lowering special cooldown. However, it gets a boost by now being effective against armored units, so a combined Slaying Lance and Slaying Spear combo. I think that's pretty cool and a decent new weapon. If you get the special upgrade, then when enemies initiate a fight, Nephany gets +4 speed and defense. Not super flashy, but Nephany does have 35 base speed and 34 base defense, so in a melee duel, she can actually be pretty tough to take down. Combined with her Natural Wrath B skill, Nephany can continue to be a scary opponent to leave on low HP. My initial reaction is that Dauntless Lance in its base form is pretty good. However, when it comes to refining it, I think going for the regular speed upgrade might be better. I have to think on it more, but +3 speed on both phases and +2 HP versus +4 speed and defense on the enemy phase does seem to be an equal trade-off. I'll be doing a video on this weapon in the near future, so that's when I'll talk about it in more detail. That's it for update 2.7. What are your thoughts on this update, and are you going to use or refine any of these new weapons? Leave a comment down below. Again, I want to emphasize that I will be making a separate video talking about the new banner. This is a new format I tried out for the first summer banner and people seem to enjoy it, so I hope you give it a watch. I will be talking about each unit individually, including their stat lines and explaining any new skills that pop up. My goal is to get that video out quickly, and if it's up, then I'll link it in the end card of this video. If it's not up yet as you're watching this video, then make sure you subscribe to be notified when it does go live. That's it for update 2.7. I'll see you guys soon.